Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Carson Rouse, and welcome back to Business Buzz, where we focus on business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Today, I'm going to be talking about AirBnB Arbitrage. So yeah, today's video is going to be all about AirBnB Arbitrage and just a simplified explanation of how you can get started and exactly what it is. Before I get into it though, make sure to go down and leave this video a like. I would love at least 37 likes on this video. That's what I'm rooting for, 37 likes. Also, check out my last video because I'm doing a $100 stock giveaway. All you got to do is watch that video, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below which stock you want $100 in, and you're automatically entered. So first of all, what is AirBnB Arbitrage? You may have heard the term being tossed around a bit before. Let's talk about what exactly it is. So first, let's talk about what Airbnb is. You've probably heard of it, but let's just do a quick review for those of you who may have never heard of Airbnb. It's basically a platform where people can rent out their homes, extra rooms, apartments, and any other type of lodging for usually short-term stays. There's a ton of different ways that you can make money off of Airbnb, but specifically today we're going to talk about Airbnb Arbitrage. In a nutshell, Airbnb Arbitrage simply refers to renting properties solely to sublet them out on Airbnb. So with something like this, as long as you're bringing in more income from Airbnb than you're losing from expenses from rent and other business expenses, you can make money on Airbnb Arbitrage. The really cool thing about this is that you don't have to own any properties. So you can get started with very little money. All you have to do is rent out a property. Say you're paying $1,000 a month for rent, and then you rent out this property to people and you're bringing in $2,000 a month from renting it out, then you're making a profit without ever even owning the property. It's also a great time to start doing this because Airbnb is just popping off. It's sort of taking over the hotel industry as we speak. So get into this now and you can start to grow your little Airbnb arbitrage business and start renting more properties, and it just starts to grow on itself. And some people are renting out hundreds of properties on Airbnb that they don't even own. Now let's go over some steps you should take to start your Airbnb arbitrage side hustle. Number one, find your first property. First of all, you got to make sure that you conduct proper market research before you even think about investing in renting your first property. First of all, you got to consider what a prime Airbnb location is. Are you going to rent a property in a rural town with a few thousand people living in it? Or are you going to rent it out in a growing city that attracts many tourists? Probably the latter. That's why it's best to choose a property in a city that will attract tourists and attract Airbnb users all year long. It's also important to be wary of the local laws surrounding short-term rentals, or you could land yourself in a big world of legal trouble and fines. I would recommend contacting the city hall of wherever you're looking to rent out a property and getting the information directly from the source. I would recommend going to a site called airdna.co. This is a Airbnb website which allows you to do proper market research on the area about Airbnb. If you want to find the average daily rates, occupancy rates, and average revenue per month for certain properties on Airbnb, you can simply go to this site and specify what area you want to look into. This tool is honestly a must-have if you're looking into Airbnb arbitrage. It can really help you figure out how much money you can expect to earn and profit through your Airbnb arbitrage side hustle. Now there's a lot to get into about this website. If you guys want me to make a whole separate video simply on this website, I definitely could, but for right now I'm not going to go too deep into it because this video would be 20 minutes long. Now that you're ready to find a specific property, I would recommend going to a website like Zillow. Zillow is a great site for buying or renting properties. In this case, you'll be renting properties, only to rent them out again. Now, if you did your proper research on AirDNA, that should make your search on Zillow much easier, and you can find properties that will bring in much more revenue and much more profits for you than other properties might. So if you find a property on AirDNA that averages, $2,500 a month in revenue, and on Zillow you can rent it for $1,500 a month, well, that's $1,000 in profit a month from Airbnb arbitrage. Obviously though, that's not including fees and other expenses that are going to cut down on your profits. And of course, this is an important thing to consider. Always contact the owner of the property to see if you're allowed to sublease it to other renters. Some owners do not want you subleasing your property because, they don't know who's going to be staying in that house. They don't know what kind of damage might be done, or, just bad things might happen. So make sure you talk to the owner before just renting out their property to other renters, because that is illegal. Number 2, pay necessary startup fees. There's tons of revenue potential in Airbnb arbitrage, but you have to take into account startup cost to see what you can afford based on your current financial situation. This will also allow you to estimate how long it will take you to recoup from your initial investment. It might take you a year to actually start making profits from your startup cost, or longer or shorter. For most properties, you can expect these following startup costs. Be prepared to pay application fees, legal fees, your first month's rent, and a 1-month security deposit. You also may have to purchase furnishings and appliances depending on what's already in the house for you. Now, obviously, this is going to require some upfront money, so you're going to have to save up some money for this. I wouldn't recommend taking out a loan simply for your startup costs, but if you have to take out a little, that's not too bad. The startup costs can range anywhere from $1,000 to much higher than that, depending on the property that you're looking at. Number 3, list your first property on Airbnb. Make sure to start an Airbnb profile so you can list your first property, and when you list it, be sure to have a really good description and professional looking photos. You might even want to consider investing in a good camera drone to take good pictures of all your properties from nice angles, or you could always hire somebody to take really good pictures, but you don't want to get into all that. You should probably learn how to do that yourself. When listing your property, you really want to make it stand out and describe it very well. A lot of the people that are renting Airbnb properties are on vacation, so you should use words like luxurious and beautiful, and other nice descriptive words that features the best parts of your property. You should also make sure that your nightly rates are in line with the general market of that kind of property, but you also don't want to undersell yourself. The more appealing that your listing is, the more likely you are to get booked. I would actually recommend looking at some of the popular best-selling properties in your Airbnb area and see what they're using in their descriptions and in their titles and in their pictures, and kind of copycat them a little bit. Learn from their success so you can be a success. Number 4, you gotta consider legal issues. Legalities and all that sort of stuff, they're not the most fun thing to talk about, but they are very important to consider. Nowadays, it seems like you gotta jump through so many hoops to get started in any sort of business or any way of making money. But that's just the way it is now, and you got to do your research. Most landlords are going to require that you fill out the proper paperwork to reach an agreement on this type of practice. I already mentioned this, but you can't just go out and rent out a property that you're renting without your landlord's permission. That is illegal. Don't do that. Also, be sure to address Airbnb host protection insurance so that you're not liable for what your tenants are doing to your landlord's property. This can protect you legally so you're not getting sued for millions. And again, go to City Hall. They have some good answers for you, and they will help you out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you took something of value. If you took anything of value, be sure to subscribe to BusinessBuzz. I talk about stocks on this channel, personal finance, saving money, making money, really anything that has to do with money, I talk about on this channel. And also, again, be sure to enter the giveaway. I believe we only have like 20 people in the giveaway right now for $100. So if you enter in my last video's giveaway, you've got a good shot of winning $100 worth of any stock of your choice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.